After writing 2 transformational books myself and supporting many other beings to do the same, I've become enthralled by the deep and mysterious magic that's activated when we choose to say yes to ourselves and commit to the book writing journey. Of course, we want to inspire change and new perspectives in our readers, but the transformation that happens as an author, both throughout the writing process and by actually releasing your book into the world, is surprisingly potent. I know I've been blindsided in the most disruptive and delicious ways by some of the changes my books have brought into my life. Writing a book is like casting a spell. Although we can never be completely sure what's going to be unleashed during the process, we choose to do it anyway. This Unbound one is a heroic journey. Each book has the potential to be a magical portal, a doorway to a new world, both for you and your reader. Each book has a very specific medicine that it's here to share with us. And each book gives us the opportunity to alchemize the magnificent imperfection of our experience into gold. The truth is that anyone can write a book. We could all get a few thousand words down and put them together. But what fascinates me is what happens when we allow the book writing process to go deeper. When we say, fuck it, get naked and dive way down beneath the surface. Letting go of the shoulds and any need to be acceptable, sensible, or approved of. What fascinates me is what happens when we make ourselves fully available to being transformed by the very act of writing a book. This is Unbound Writing, and this is the process we'll be exploring together here in the Unbound Writers Club. I'm Nicola Humber, author and founder of the Unbound Press, and I help magical beings to write the transformational book they're really here to write at this time. I'm your guide here in the Unbound Writers Club, and the aim of this podcast is to help you to feel supported, encouraged, activated as you embark on your book writing journey. Whether you're a first-time author or have many books out in the world, my hope is that you will find something here to inspire you. Let's dive in. Hello, magical one, and welcome to this very special episode of the Unbound Writers Club. It's our 2-year anniversary of the podcast, and we wanted to create something special for you where we bring the voices of many of our authors, many of our Unbound writers through. Community is at the heart of everything we do at the Unbound Press. Everything we do in the Unbound world, that idea that you don't have to do it alone. And I think what makes this podcast so special, like I love riffing and doing the solo episodes, but when I get to be in conversation with one of our authors, somebody who's on the Unbound writing journey, there is always so much magic that's activated. Like we never know what's going to come through in the conversation. It's always very free flowing. And I feel like those are the episodes that create the deepest connection. They're about so much more than just sharing information. So today we have invited our authors and those who are on the Unbound writing journey to share who they've become as they've been in this process, as they have been writing their books or have written their books in the Unbound way. And I've literally just been listening to what's come through for each of the women who have contributed, and there were tears, my tears. It's just such an honor to hold space for each of the writers within this community, and like to know it's about so much more than writing. So I invite you to really immerse yourself in this episode, just to let the different voices wash over you. There will be certain things, I'm sure, that deeply resonate, that you recognize in yourself. or that you are wanting for yourself, maybe. So just notice what they are. Some of the writers have said who they are at the beginning, some haven't. We'll put all the details in the show notes for you. Our writers have recorded these messages like in different places at different times. So, if there's some background noise, we've chosen to keep that in. It's all Unbound. Like, I love every one of these beings and everyone else who is in the Unbound community. And just to say, like, after listening or as you're listening, if you can feel that call to write your book, and you would like to do that the Unbound way, you would like to be part of the Unbound family of writers, of authors, let me know. Just reach out. There are different ways we can hold space and support you with that. So yeah, just come find me on Instagram. I'm at Nicola Humber, DM me and we can start a conversation. And as this is the 2-year anniversary of the Unbound Writers Club, I would be so grateful. We would be so grateful if you could share this episode with your friends, with your community, with anyone you feel might love listening to it. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate this opportunity to connect with you. Let's dive in and hear what our magical authors have to say about their Unbound writing journeys.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Sansom and I'm the author of a book called Desire Lines. Desire Lines was published by the Unbound Press back in September 2019, and prior to that I'd been part of the Unbound Writing Mastermind, and I'm surprised myself. I surprised myself during the writing of Desire Lines about just how bold and brave and fierce I could be in getting my beliefs and my views out into the world. And I've continued to surprise myself with just how strongly I feel about Desire Lines and how I continue to champion the book, even nearly 3 years on. It feels like it was the opportunity, or perhaps just one of several opportunities to come to express myself fully, and that feels incredibly precious and incredibly important. So I've genuinely been surprised at who I am when it comes to talking about Desire Lines and being her, her caretaker, her champion, her stage mom. I love the book dearly, and I talk about her as a she and also something almost separate from me now, because I feel this book has an energy of its own, and I love that.
I think in my Unbound writing journey, I became much more free, really. I think I was able, through my writing, to heal a lot of the wounds that I had. I was able to recognize some of the wounds I didn't even know they were there, repressed from all these years in my life. I was also able to find balance and acceptance within both the good and the bad sides that I have as a person. I discovered that I don't have to be this perfect girl who is always right or who always have to have all the answers. That my voice matters, that I can stand up firm in the ground and express what I want and without needing anybody's approval, really. And that's really the wolf rebellious side, which I think goes really well with the Unbound. It's this idea of release and truly be the lion and be the person you want to be, like whatever it is for you, and say whatever the fuck you want to say. It's just really building that confidence and healing your wounds and taking charge of your life and loving yourself for it and honoring yourself and respecting your pace, your flaws, your time, and also helping others recognize that in themselves as well. Why not? So this has been an incredible journey with ups and downs for me, but I feel amazed at everything that I found in this journey, and it really has been an incredible release, detox, cleansing, and rising process for me, and I love it. And yeah, it's been worth it.
my Unbound writing journey, I've become more connected to my intuition. I've let go of some of my more perfectionist tendencies. I've stopped judging my writing. I suppose I've found my voice, my message, what it is I want to say and how I want to say it. And I've really learnt the value of getting out of my head, and I've stopped overthinking my writing. So now I just let the words flow without judgment. And this Unbound writing journey has affected so much more than just my writing. I've been on such a journey of transformation. I hardly remember who I was before. Not that anyone else would necessarily notice, but I feel completely different to how I was before. I just feel generally more centered and more grounded. I feel more connected to something higher, more trusting, like I know I'm on a journey, but now I don't need to know the destination before I take the next step. I feel much more aligned to my life purpose and what I'm here to do. And one of the biggest shifts is that I've let go of pushing myself and instead just created space to allow stuff to happen. And I've discovered much more about who I am, both as a writer and as a person. And I've discovered that when I stop overthinking, stop trying so hard and let go of perfectionist tendencies, when I get out of my head, then I can tap into these flows of creative energy and things happen so much more quickly than they ever did through gritting my teeth and just pushing myself in the ways I used to.
Hi, this is Jo Giffords here from the Unbound Press. I'm an author and also a member of the team here. I wrote Brilliance Unboxed, which was published in 2020, and I also wrote Wild Currents, which is going to be published in July 2022. My Unbound writing journey has allowed me to become someone who really trusts the creative process. I really have learned to listen to books when they arrive, to let them have their space, to allow them to be what they need to be and to be in co-creation with the energy of the Unbound Press and the team here, and to trust the moments when nothing is coming through and to harness the moments when lots is. It's just so exciting to really feel into the energy of what wants to be expressed and to trust that process more and more as we unbind ourselves as women from generations and generations of being told, being ingrained that we should not and that we cannot use our voice. So trusting that process has become incredibly powerful. And more than that, I've really discovered the power of co-creation as something that really helps us all to alchemize our work and to reach those that it needs to. It's always an honor to be part of the Unbound team.
Hi, this is Julia Poole, and I'm writing about my journey through ovarian cancer and my learnings through that process. Gosh, the Unbound writing journey and who I've become is it's almost more a case of who I'm becoming and appreciating these layers and layers unfolding, and a sense that that's going to continue through my writing and way beyond my writing. And it's almost impossible, I found, to write in an unbound way without becoming more unbound as a whole human, which makes perfect sense, really, when you think about it. So I've really found myself tapping into layers of emotion that had perhaps been buried, into ways of expressing myself, finding that I am expressing myself more in my life. And one of the weird paradoxes is that in becoming unbound, I'm actually more boundaried. So finding that it's easier to say no, to create space for my yeses, and to create space for my writing, to make it more center stage, and make myself more center stage in my life, actually, in a really good, healthy way. So I am immensely grateful to the process, enjoying so much this unfolding and these layers being revealed, and the feeling that everything's happening in its perfect time, that there's no hurry to make anything happen, no hurry to change, and just to gradually allow myself and life to be revealed. And it's very, very beautiful and nourishing practice. So thank you to Nicola. Thank you to everyone that's also part of this journey.
Hi, I'm Lorraine, intuitive copywriter at The Soulful Word and creator and founder of Soul Brand Energy. My Unbound writing journey has given me something beyond my wildest dreams. It's given me a sense of community and a deep knowing that I'm never alone. Throughout life, I've always tried to do things by myself and not ask for help. And so through the Unbound Writing community, I've found like-minded women who also need that same sense of support and accountability. And we really just bounce off of each other. The calls are just so deeply nourishing and just take the whole writing process, the whole book writing process to another level. I've discovered lots of things about myself, in particular that I need this community of women around me in order to be my best, in order to push to my edges and write in the way that I'm really destined to write to get my book out into the world. In my own business, I'm working on lots of beautiful intuitive copywriting projects for clients, and I generally attract like-minded people who are very curious, very passionate, and have a story to tell. I love working with some of my fellow Unbound authors as well. And one thing I love doing for them is helping them with their author bio for the back of their book and for various bios for PR purposes. Because lots of writers and authors suddenly find that they don't have everything they need in place to fully promote and feel confident in promoting their own book once they've actually finished that writing and editing and publishing process. So I love to support my fellow Unbound writers on that next little stage of their journey to support them as they get their book out into the world. You can find me at thesoulfulword.com or soulbrandenergy.com. I look forward to connecting with you.
In writing my book Labyrinth, My Journey to Belonging, I've become an author. I've discovered that writing is something I love to do. I now fully trust myself and my creative process, and this has hugely increased my self-confidence. This is so precious to me. In trusting the creative process, I am also trusting myself, and I'm trusting life so much more. And I am deeply, deeply grateful for this. And I hope that this embodied experience of trust that I have experienced whilst I've been writing also transmits to all those who read my book too. And even more than that, writing my book has confirmed to me that I want to support other creatives and visionaries bring their projects to life too. The world needs more creativity and innovation, and I want to contribute to that movement. And so writing my book has opened up a whole new career to me, not just writing and being an author, but also in supporting other writers and creatives in birthing the essence of their creative projects as well.
I have become so confident in using my voice and confident also in owning who I was born to be. And it has been an incredible journey because I've so come back in full circle to being a singer and to using my voice to help others to use their voices. It's all a work. The work is all about now releasing reverberant voices. So letting people really release their voice. And I love it because it so fits in with the Unbound way. And I've discovered about myself that I am very welcoming and that I'm so grateful for all the decisions I've made in my life, so that I can be here right now as a guide for people to really find time to come and sit with me and be with me and to expand. Yeah, it's really, really incredible. And as I said, I've also discovered that my voice has a strong impact on people's lives and that I am a big influencing effect on people's lives. And I'm not sure I even quite know the extent of that impact yet. But what I do know is that I'm ready. I'm really ready to use my voice even more. And it's delicious.
Well, I've discovered about myself through having my book published that finding the words for a book that's called Beyond Words is almost impossible, and I've found excruciatingly painful. The irony when the book's called Beyond Words. I've also discovered that I've uncovered more and more about myself in just trusting the unfolding of the imagery and in seeing the pattern of the images that I have in my book, the pattern that's formed in the images. I've discovered that there is a theme in the journey. I've discovered more and more than ever how I process through imagery and emotions and not words, which is fascinating considering my book is called Beyond Words. I've also discovered that I can trust in the process and not attach thought to the process. And I think the only way the words are going to come through is just trusting the process and allowing the words to come, even though I don't know what they mean, which is what I'm doing now. And I realise more than ever that expression is from the heart, and anything from the head is a trauma response. But yes, it's been a fascinating and beautiful journey, and I've loved every minute so far.
As a member of the Unbound Press, I have discovered that I am actually a decent writer. For so long, I doubted myself, even though I really enjoyed writing and expressing ideas and passions in words. But since I took the leap and became an unbound writer, I really have discovered something deeper inside myself. I start my writing journey when I have time to sit down with lighting candles and burning incense, maybe choosing a gemstone, cleansing with sage, just making a little ritual so it lets my mind settle into the space of writing. And I'm really enjoying that part too. So I am so grateful to be a part of this team of amazing women who are sharing their passions and their ideas and setting the world on fire. Thank you very much to Nicola and every other woman who is on this Unbound Press team.
My unbound writing has brought me more and more into my own body. Kind of ironic since all my books have embodied in the title. And through these books, I have shed beliefs, ideas, stories, so much along the way, and just stepped more and more into who I truly am and what I'm here to be. Each book has been an activation into my next level and allowed me to show up more powerfully, reach more people with my work, and just feel more and more like myself here on earth. And writing in the unbound way has been wonderful as well as challenging, because it's made me really let go of a lot of conditioning and ways in which we think we have to write and share our words or our work. And it's challenged me to deeply go within, to deeply connect to what I'm here to bring through, which is not always what I expect or the easy way. But by surrendering to this and honoring it, I've just allowed myself to become who I am here to be. And that is the greatest gift.
Who have I become on my unbound writing journey? I've become so much more confident and allowing and kinder to myself, really understanding and owning myself and who I am and what I'm here for and why I chose to come and all the amazing experiences that I am here to experience. I've come from feeling alone and I need to do it all to realizing that there's such a powerful connection and community within Unbound, that we're all here to rise and rise together and support each other on the way. What have I discovered about myself? I'm much braver than I thought. I'm always seeking, always curious, always wanting to know the root, the why, the bigger picture, and always seeking that highest vision and possibility and what is possible for me and for us all.
My name is Victoria Smizik, and I'm the author of Falling Awake, A Heroine's Journey. So who have I become on my unbound writing journey, and what have I discovered about myself? Well, I've discovered that I have what it takes to write a book. Who knew? To actually finish it and get it published. A year on, and I still find myself suddenly remembering that it happened, that I really did it. So what does it take, or at least what did it take for me? Well, I guess it took courage, discipline, focus, commitment, self-belief, faith, trust, and generally being a warrioress. So who have I become along the way? Well, my book writing journey coincided, obviously no such thing, with a very unusual 2-year period in time. A time in which I have become way more conscious, more spiritual, more aware, more brave, more autonomous, more authentic, and of course, more unbound. I needed to unbind from my story first. I could then unbind from so many other stories that I was telling myself about the world we live in. And all that, now that I come to write it, feels like freedom. So what have I learnt and who have I become? I've become more free and more me.
Who have I become on my Unbound writing journey? Now, there is a question. I think that I have got to know myself a bit deeper, a bit better. I was always a deep person, but I think now I feel I'm becoming more truthful and more real. Definitely feel that about myself through this writing process that I am doing. I've also discovered that I can have quite a fickle or changeability to my nature. This has, it's happened a lot, going from one thing to another and trying to kind of remain grounded and earthed and stable. And I definitely have discovered that. And it does come into the piece of writing I'm doing. But it's actually, I believe that it's changing me as a person. So that's been a huge discovery on my part.
Hello, I am Sonraya Grace. I have been writing a book, Mother Earth is Calling You, which takes a deep dive into the wisdom of the seasons of the earth. I've recently decided to complete and publish the first season of winter. I feel the importance of winter in honouring the dark feminine which exists within all of us. I feel this has a potency that I didn't recognise before, that allows us to nurture the winter within us as a way to rebirth into the light. In the short time I have been with Unbound Press, I realise I have a unique message and perspective that only I can share, that only I can write. I recognise the birth of my book is both scary and exciting, but I feel now more confident and motivated and passionate that I am supported by a team of women with the Unbound Press team.
Hello, friends on the Unbound writing journey. My answer to the question, who have I become on my Unbound writing journey, is I continue actually to feel like I'm becoming no one, and I'm just more and more opening to what is and just unfolding. That said, there is a clarity that wants to emerge about who we are and who I am and what I'm here to do. And that feels like communicating our essential nature as whole, as our essential beings, as okay, that everything that's happening in the world outside of us is fundamentally okay, no matter how chaotic it seems. And so my path is to stabilize in that fundamental well-being and reassure everyone and help them remember that you are okay, that you are well, and that you have incredible gifts to give to the world. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do, and that's fundamentally what my book is about, is the path for myself to discover that truth for myself and share how that unfolded for me. All right, love and blessings to everyone.